engulf the nation. My sister sojourner blaze hot with a righteous indignation, a provocation, demanding tangible proofs for the reasons we hold, to the proof of expedient truths. We declare war on the root. With flesh and blood we wrestle and undo the culture of supremacy from the public to the church square. Truth is not for hire, serving notice to all liars. Hirelings and theologians, yard hey, way, hey is not a footnote. Foolish you, there's a higher power than your vote. No devices will be adopted, no names and histories co-opted, corrupted or disrupted. Yahweh, hey, what Yahweh, hey is not a footnote. Foolish you, there's a higher power than your vote. We hold these truths to be self-evident. We hold these truths to be self-evident.
Like a bullet to the head, they said it was self-evident that all men are created equal, but what parts were they counting? White parts are male parts, black parts are sheep parts, native parts are illegal parts. I mean, am I 1/5, 2/5, or even 3/5 of a man? See, unlike Rosa, I was not sitting in front of the bus, nor were my feet hurting, but I had made up my mind that I would no longer give in. Never give in. Never, ever give in. Ain't nothing great or small. Never give in. Never, never give in. Large or petty, never give in, except to convictions of honor and good sense. These words Churchill spoke, so how could I choose to choke? Choke like 1607. Anglo men boarded ships. Men boarded more men on ships. Called them chattel like cattle. Herded men like a Columbus mistake. Their error colossal, claiming land to be theirs. Standing blithely with axe still in hand. Handing out so-called freedom. For this blood, they're responsible.
Yet for this cause he bled love like bloodshed. Picture that unforgettably Red Cross, or the Red Cross called to the broken and the lost.
On Yahshua's back we escape sin's tyranny, and unburdened sinners. Now we come to find the mercy place. Dearly beloved, let us take a moment of silence and resume to rewrite, relive our manifest destiny throughout the pages of history. Yes, our lives are relevant, and truth made this self-evident. We held those lies, now we hold this proof. 47 years after 1776, when ink dripped from parchment saying, we hold these truths to be self-evident. Prevalent was the blood spent from Gettysburg to Pettus, from tobacco fields to shields raised high. But we held those lies, now we hold this proof. Before 1865, hatred keeping war alive, murdering marauders branded as forefathers. We held those lies, now we hold this proof. As we hold these truths self-evident in eyes like lashes, practice what you preach and educate without Confederate hypocrisy. Civil war raging in Christ's body. We held those lies, now we hold this proof. That before the letter J existed, Jesus could not be lifted. No power, no strength within it. We held those lies, now we hold this proof. Positive as we hold these truths cognizant. Don't push it out, just let it in. And then we begin to live again in Yah's evident benevolence.
The evidence is this. Truth is upheld, withheld at times, but always propelled. She lady in breeding, effigy of liberty, emancipation, the statuette of liberation. Give me your tired, pouring huddle masses yearning to breathe free. Yes, even as she stands on the sea, authorities try convincing the contrary. She lady for certain immigrants, but not me. Does she not know of the Hebrew baby, the seed of David? He died for the tide to pour the huddle masses in the so-called masters. Masters withholding keys to knowledge. But the master with his truth, us empowered to snatch those keys and take that knowledge. Now we hold this proof and the promises. I have a dream today. It's self-evident truth is always relevant, like 1963 when Martin marched. Backtracked to dread, thought he scot-free till 9 men on the bench ruled him property. 14th Amendment don't apply to he, but why? His skin might be colored, but his brain's